So hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is my second live stream on my YouTube channel. My first live stream was on how to create a typing website with JavaScript. If you have not checked it till now, I'll provide the link in the description below. Great. So in this live stream what we are going to do is we are going to create a full stack Amazon clone with React.js and Firebase. Are you excited? If you are excited guys, please leave comment down below. Okay, so I will discuss all of the features that we are going to be implementing in our Amazon clone. So the basic feature is going to be the login and registration with authentication. Great. And the second feature is going to be we are going to be having a search filter. I mean to say that the user can search for the specific product the user wants to buy. And third one is going to be the add to basket feature. Fourth one is going to be remove from basket feature. Fifth one is the important one, that is the subtotal of the product that the user have added to the basket in our checkout page. And the fifth one is going to be we are going to display the alerts. That's going to be the styles alert that will be coming from a React package. That means when the user adds the item into the basket, we will display the product's detail in that specific alert, and it will disappear maybe about 5 seconds, maybe in 5 seconds, yeah. And the last feature is going to be we are going to be using the Stripe payment functionality. Yes guys, we will be having the payment functionality. We are going to test that in real time. So if till now you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do not forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and hit the notification bell. So without wasting the time, let's jump into the video. So as you can see over here guys, we are having our project opened over here, and I have already created my fresh React project. So if you haven't yet, just go and create a fresh React project by running this command, that is going to be npx create -react -app and your app name. That you totally depends on you what name you would like to keep for your app. I have kept the Amazon clone YouTube tutorial video because this is going to be my tutorial video part. Awesome. So I'm not gonna provide you any demo related to the Amazon clone that we are going to create because I haven't created it yet. We are going to create the full Amazon clone together guys. We're just gonna create it together, alright? We haven't yet even created it. So let's start it from scratch. So I will just explain you the folder structure. So as you can see over here, we are having our React folder structure, simple, that we'll be getting when we install the React project. And the things that I have changed is that inside this source folder, I have deleted all of the files other than the app.css, app.js, index.css and the index.js file. Just keep these 4 files and delete all of the files that is there inside the source directory. After that, you need to just remove all of the import statement that is imported in our app.js and index.js related to the deleted files. Great. After that, you're just gonna see these two text, that is hi there, welcome to my channel and let's create Amazon clone together. So I have just edited this. If you haven't yet, you're just gonna see simple React based text that React will provide you. So let's start creating our Amazon clone. So the first thing is that we are going to be using so many packages in this Amazon clone. So all the packages will be used from this npmjs.com website. The link will be provided in the description below. You can just search for the packages that you need related to JavaScript or any other programming languages. You can just search for that specific package. You're just gonna get the information about that package, how to use it, what's this package, and how can you implement it in your real code, how can you install this package in your project. Great. So I'm not going to explain you in detail, but I will explain you why we are going to be using this. We will be using the React router DOM to display, to link our pages. For an example, home page with our navbar menus, to jump to our checkout page, go to our payment page, go to the login page and registration page. For that, we are going to be using this React Router DOM. Great. So let's start by installing it. So this is the command. I will just open a terminal window over here. And what you need to do over here is that you need to run the same command that I have run already. That is the npm I React Router DOM. What does this I means? I is the short form for install. Just go and do this, and that will install the React Router DOM in your React project. So let it do it. So after it's installed, you are ready to use the React Router DOM in your React project. So I'm just gonna minimize my terminal and open my React app in my browser screen and my code editor over here. So we are going to go step by step. I will explain you every single line in detail, and I will be providing a comment for you. I mean to say, the Amazon source code will be provided in the GitHub repository. So if you are going to be using this source code, it will be really easy for you all guys to understand this line of code is written for what is this line of code doing over here. So I'll be just providing the comment for this specific code. Great. So the first is we are going to work with our app.js file to define the routes. So over here I'm going to import my router. So import browser router as router, and the second one is that I'm going to import routes, and to define my route I'm going to import route, and that will be imported from the package that we have installed, that is React Router DOM. Great. So now I have imported my React Router DOM package, so let's start installing it. So from this div which is having a class name of an app, I'm just gonna remove this header section over from here. Now you're just gonna see a simple white plain page in your browser screen. Great, because we are having an empty div over here. So now I'm just even gonna remove this div over from here inside our return, and now I will start using my router. In between this router tag I will be having my div, which is going to be having a class name of app. In this div I will be having my routes defined over here, so I'll be using my routes tag over here. In between these routes I will be having my specific route for this specific path and display the element. So I'll be using the route tag over here, and inside this route I'm just gonna provide a path. So here you can just pass the URL. So I'll just pass a / for my main page, that is going to be your home page, and I'll provide it an element to display the components that I would like to display in this specific / path. So I'll be using the React fragments over here, and in between these React fragments I will call my component. I would like to call, the first one is going to be our header component over here inside my home page. Great. Now it should show me an error that is saying the header is not defined. So let me just create this header.js component to create my header first. So what I will be doing over here is, now I will be creating my Amazon clones header first. Great. So for doing that, I'm just gonna come to the source folder. I'm going to create a new folder over here named as components. In this components folder, I'm going to be having a new file that is going to be for our header.js. And for the CSS file related to our header.js, I'm going to create a new folder in this components that is going to store all of the CSS files. And I'm just going to create a new file that is for our header.css. Simple. Great. Let's come to our app.js file over here, and it is saying me that the header is not defined. So let me just import my header over here. So import header from the components folder that I have created. Inside that I'm having this header.js file. When I just do import it, it's not gonna display us any error, but display us a blank page, because we are not having anything to display in our header.js file. So did you got the structure of our app.js? It's really simple. The thing is that we are just defining all of the routes related to our pages that we are going to be having in our Amazon clone over here. Great. So that's it for the app.js file for now. Let's start working with our beautiful Amazon clone header. Are you excited? Yes guys, I am really excited. So let's start working with our header.js file. So just write rfce command to import the basic import React template over here, and I'm just gonna remove this div for now because I really don't need it. Great, that's awesome. So we are going to be having some of these import statements over here. So the first import statement is going to be for our link that will be imported from the React Router DOM package that we have already installed. Don't worry about this link. What is this link that we are importing from React Router DOM? When we will be in that stage, I will explain you in detail. Great. Are you excited? Yes. So let's start working with our header. So in this header, I'm going to be having a div which is going to be having a class name of header. In this div, we are going to be having an image for our Amazon logo. So we are going to be adding a class name for this image so we can just style it later in our CSS file. And that is going to be having a class name of header underscore logo. And then I'm having a source. That means I'm having a path for the specific real Amazon logo that I just got it from the official Amazon website by inspecting and copying the logo's path. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy it and just paste it over here inside the source folder and provide a alt text that is going to be logo in simple words. When I just do that, it should display me the Amazon underline over here, but it is the full logo. It is not displaying the text because of this white background and white text. If I just select it over here, let me just select it. We still can't see it, but when I will just change the header background, you will see the logo completely. So don't worry about it at all. Now let's start working with our header search input. So I'm just going to create a separate div for it, which is going to be having a class name of header underscore search. Okay, so in this header underscore search, we are going to be having an input that it will be for our search, which is going to be having a class name of header underscore search input. And then we're going to be having a type of this input that is going to be simple text. Awesome. And that is going to be our input. And after our search input, I would like to display my search icon. So for using the search icons, like if I need to use the icon Material UI icons in my React project, I need to install the Material UI package in my React project. So I will be coming back to the npm.js website over here and install the Material UI package. Just search for that, press enter, scroll down and go on scrolling down. You can see this package that is material-ui/icons. Just select that package and install it in your React project via terminal. So scroll down and this is the command that you need to use for installing it. So there are so many commands. First is this npm, and you need to even install this for adding the icons in your project. If you're using npm, you can just go through these commands, and after that you need to run even this command once again. Otherwise you are just gonna get errors in your React project while you will be importing the Material UI icons. So I will just open my terminal window over here and just start by installing the core first of all. So npm install @material-ui/core. That's just gonna install the Material UI core in our React project. After that, I'm just gonna add this Material UI core in my React project so it will work perfectly. Alright, so let it just install it. So if till now you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do not forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and hit the notification bell. So as you can see now over here that our Material UI core package is installed. So let's start by adding it. So we need to run this npm add @material-ui/core command over here. So it is saying me to run it with yarn, but you can just do it by running it with the npm also. Got it? Great. And let's run this command also for installing the material UI icons. That is npm install material-ui/icons. You can even do it by running the yarn. If you're not having yarn, you can just go with npm add material UI icons command. Got it? Yes. And now after that, the last command that you need to run is going to be this npm I material UI /icons. So I'm just running all of the commands once only, because while we will be dealing with these icons, we don't need any error to occur in our first time. Great. Otherwise the live stream is going to be lengthy. So the live stream will be divided in 4 or 3 different parts. Like in our first live stream, we are going to create our header. We will be creating the login and the registration functionality with Firebase, and we'll be designing our home page with the product, pricings, title, description, etc. Great. So let it install this material UI again. Let it install it. It's gonna take some time. It totally depends on your internet connection. So now as you can see, it is installed. Now we need to run this command. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy it in a simple way and paste it over here and just press enter in my keyboard. And that's going to install this specific package. It's just going to take some time. And as you can see, it's installed. Now we can just start using our material UI icons in our React project. So let me just come back over here to my code editor, and after my input I would like to just have my shopping basket icon with even throughout the search icon. Am I correct? Yes. So let me just add an import statement over here. After I have defined my React router DOM, I would like to import search icon from the package that we have installed, that is material UI /icons / the pack icon that you need. So I need the search icon, so I'll just use the search over here. Great. So now when I will just call this search icon import statement, you are just gonna see the search icon over here or over here. Just focus over here. Okay, great. So what I'm going to do over here is that I'm just gonna provide it a comment that is going to be the search logo. Great. And after that I'm just gonna call my search icon import statement over here, which is also going to be having a class name for styling it. That is going to be header_search icon. And now let me just close it. When I just do that and save it, we need to see the search icon being displayed over here. So let me just refresh my web page over here. Let's see what happens. It's taking time to refresh. Till that time, let's check our code once again. Search icon being is imported from the material UI icons / search. Yes guys, it should work. Let's see. Okay, so our app is refreshed over here, and boom, we can see our search icon being displayed over here. That is really amazing. Okay, so this is going to be for our search input. After that, we are going to be having our header nav for displaying the nav links. So let me just create a separate div for it, which is going to be having a class name for as header_nav, which is going to hold all of our nav menus link. So header_nav, and in this we are going to be having separate div for separate columns. So like div, which is going to be having a class name of, let me just keep it like header_option, and inside this div I will be having a span tag for displaying the text, which is going to be having a class name of header_option line 1, and I'm just gonna keep it empty for now and create my second span tag over here, which is going to be having a class name of header_option line 2. and I'm also gonna keep it empty for now. But not for now, let's start inserting our data. This one is going to hold hello guest in it. And in the second span tag, I would like to display the sign in text. Great. And after this header option div ends, I'm going to create a second header option div. So let me create a div which is going to be having a class name of header underscore option. I mean to say same. Just go with it, and inside that we're going to be having a span tag with the same class name that is going to be header underscore option line 1, and that's gonna say returns and display all of the orders that we have purchased. In our second span tag, the same class name, I'm going to provide it header underscore option line 2, and that's going to display and orders. Great. We are done with our second header option. Now we are going to be having two more header option. One is going to display your prime, and the second one is going to display our basket icon and the number of items that is added to our basket. So I'm just going to copy it once and paste it over here and change the text to your prime. And now we are going to be having our beautiful and the last header option for our basket. So let me create a div over here which is going to be having a class name of header underscore option, but it's not going to be simple an option, it's going to be option for the basket because we are going to provide different styling to this div. In this div we are going to be calling our shopping basket. So I'm just going to call it first, and afterwards I would like to import it. It's going to be the shopping basket icon. I'm not going to provide it a class name because I'm just going to keep it simple. After that I will be having a span tag which is going to be having a class name of header underscore option line 2, and the second class name is going to be header underscore basket count. It's going to be that simple. And in this span tag I would like to display the number as 0 because now we are going to be having the 0 products added into our basket by default. Great. So now it is saying me that the shopping basket icon is not defined. So let me just import it over here. So after I have imported my search icon, I would like to import it over here. So import shopping basket icon from @material UI icons / and the icon name that you need. That is going to be the shopping basket. When I just do that, we should see the shopping basket icon being displayed over here, but we are getting an error because we have not ended it with a semicolon. So let me just end it with a semicolon, and after that, boom, as we can see over here, we are having our basket icon with the number of products added in our basket. That is really awesome. If you're not having any error till now, that means you're going in a good track and you are ready to go and get a job in as a React developer. And if you are facing some errors, just drop it down in the comment below. Otherwise you can just join my Discord channel and just leave a message over there. I will just reply you in 5 to 10 minutes. I'm really sure. Great. So now let's start by styling this header. So even I would like to import the CSS file. So I would like to import it over here. Import. It is there inside the CSS folder and the file name is header.css. I will just import it over here. Boom. That's great. And now let's come to our header.css for styling it. So yes guys, I will just show you how to code it, even I will show you how to style it. So that will be really good for you if you are just a React developer and if you have not learned CSS in advanced level. You will just go over here and you will see how to create a full responsive Amazon clone. Yes. Are you guys excited? If you are, just leave a comment below. So we are going to be having some basic stylings over here, that is going to remove the margin and remove the padding. And after that I would like to be styling my header. So I'll be selecting the class that I have provided to my header, provide it a height of 60 pixel, and I will say to display every items which is there inside this class header as flex, align items in center, and I'm just gonna change my header's background color as hashtag 131. That's the official header's background color in Amazon clone 921. Awesome, that's great. After that I will say add a position sticky to this header. That means if the user is scrolling down in Weber Amazon clone's website, the navbar will be sticky at the top. If user is scrolling, the user can see navbar sticked. Great, at the top. Position sticky and just provide it top of 0. So it will be just sticked at the top of your web page. And the Z index I'm just gonna provide it, that is going to be 100, so it will just display at the top of all of the items that is there in our home page. Great. So as you can see, after I have just changed the background color of my header, we can even see the Amazon text being displayed in our Amazon logo. That is awesome. So let's start styling our Amazon logo. And the width is going to be 100 pixel, and the object fit is going to be contain. So what is this object fit contain? So if I've just provided a width of 100 pixel, if you have seen in the older version of CSS, we was using the aspect ratio of 1, that will just provide the same height that we have provided to our width. So now in the newer version of CSS, we are using the object fit contain. That means if we are providing it a width of 100 pixel, the height will also be same as 100 pixel, and it will just match with the width. If I just change my width over here to 100, it's just gonna change the height also to 200. I just don't need to manually change it. So that's the power of the object fit contain. And now I'm just gonna provide some margin over here. From top and bottom I'm just gonna be having 0, and from right and left I will be having 20 pixel. And even I'm just gonna provide some margin from top afterwards, that is going to be 18 pixel. So now let's start styling our header search input. So I'll be selecting the class that I have provided over here, that is header underscore search. I will say every item inside this class display it as flex, and I'm just gonna provide it a flex of 1, align items in center, and then we are just gonna provide a border radius to it, that is going to be 24 pixel. Alright, that looks great. After that I'm just gonna select my search input. So header underscore search input to style it. And what I need is I need to change its height to 12 pixel, and I'm just going to provide some padding in the search input, that is going to be 10 pixels, so it will look really good and have space in between the input. And then I'm just going to remove the border, so I will be using border none, and I'm just going to change its width to 100% so it will be responsive in mobile devices. After that I'm just going to style my search icon. That is going to be having padding of 5 pixel from all of the sides. Then the height is going to be 22 pixel, and we are just going to be adding the important over here. Why we are just adding this important? To just make our browser know that this is important in our search icon stylings. After that I'm just gonna change the background color of the search icon, that is going to be hashtag CD9042. That's the official background color for our Amazon clone. So after that we are going to style our option line 1 and option line 2. So header underscore option line 1. What I need is I need to just provide it a padding of 5 pixel, and I will be just providing it a font size that is going to be about 10 pixel. Great, let me just remove padding and just change the font size only to 10 pixel. After that, let me just style my header line 2. I'm sorry, I mean to say the option line 2. So header underscore option line 2, I will like to change the font size to 13 pixel and the font weight to 800. Great. Now let me style my basket icon. So for styling my basket icon, I will be selecting the class that I have provided to it, that is header underscore option basket. I will say to display it as flex, and then I will say align items in center, so align hyphen items in center, and the color will be changed to white for our basket. After that, I'm just gonna style my basket count, so header underscore basket count. I'm just gonna provide it a margin from left, so it will be separated from the basket icon, that is going to be 10 pixel, and margin from right, that is also going to be 10 pixel. So now let me style my header nav and my header option. So I'll be using the header underscore nav. I'll say to display it as flex and justify the content space evenly. Awesome, that's great. After that, I'm just gonna select my header option and display it as flex and change the flex direction from row to column, because by default the flex direction is going to be row, so I'm just gonna change it to column. After that, I'm just gonna add margin from left, that is going to be 10 pixels, so we'll be getting some spaces between our header options. And we're just gonna provide a margin from right also, that is also going to be 10 pixel. And after that, I would change the color of the text in our header option to white, and boom, that looks really cool. But we can see over here that the styling that we have provided to our search icon is not applied. So let's see why it isn't applied over here. So we are having our header underscore search icon and our header underscore search input. So let me just check it over here in our header.js file. So header underscore search input and header underscore search icon. So the stylings are provided over here. Let me see, header underscore search input, and header underscore search icon. So why it isn't displaying me the stylings that I have provided to it? So for an example, if I just change the color to white, the color is also not changing to white. So let's see why this error is being occurred over here. So let me just see over here, and let me just maximize my VS Code editor, so it will be really easy to see what's the error inside our code. Am I correct? Yes. So let me see in my header.js file, we are having this header nav with the before that we're having this header underscore search, it's a class name. Okay, then we're having the header underscore search with the capital I input, header underscore search with the capital I of an input. Then we're having the search icon. So guys, everything is correct. Then where am I doing something wrong that is causing us to stop the stylings and add it to our header.js file? So let's see. For an example, what I'm going to do over here is that I'm just gonna open my React project and refresh it manually over here. Let's see. Still the stylings is not applied. Let me just maximize it over here, but the stylings is not still applied over here. So let me just debug and check it out over here once again. So before debugging it, let me just go through it once again. Let me just copy these class names and provide it manually. As per my knowledge, guys, everything is correct. Okay, so for testing it, what I'm going to do, why this CSS file is not working for our header underscore search, let me just go back to the same mode, keep my VS Code editor on the right hand side of my screen, and come back to this header.css file. And what I'm going to do here is that I'm just going to comment out all of this code. When I just do that, as you can see, the styling is being provided. The styling is provided. Great. So let me just come to the search input, and this is the search icon over here. So let me just try to just remove this code from here, from the search icon, and go to the search input and remove this code over here. Okay, so for an example, what I'm going to do over here, this is my search input that I have selected. I would like to just change its background color to red to check whether it is being changed or not. Boom, and as you can see, the color is being changed. So let's see whether it works fine or not. So now what I'm going to do over here is that I'm just going to provide it a height that is going to be 12 pixel, and the padding also is going to be 10 pixel. After that, I'm just gonna say that border none. I don't need the border to be displayed, so border none, and the width I'm just gonna change it to the 100%. So the styling is being applied to our search input. Now let's check whether the stylings are applied to our search icon or not. Alright guys, I got the issues, I got the error. That is that I have not named my class correctly in my CSS file. That is not search, it is search. So I need to add C over here. Great. And let me just add the stylings back again over here. That is going to be padding of 5 pixel. Then the height I'm just gonna provide it, that is going to be 22 pixel, important. And the background color I'm going to provide it, that is going to be hashtag CD9042. Awesome, let's see. And boom, as you can see guys, the styling is applied to our beautiful header for our Amazon clone. Let's see whether it is responsive or not. So if I just maximize it over here, we can see we are having our Amazon logo, we are having our search input. So when I just click on, or when I just select this input, it is just displaying us an outline. So I need to remove that outline from here. So I'm just going to provide it over here, that is going to be outline none. It's just going to remove that outline. And let me just switch back to the screen and reload it once again. And now when I just select my input, the outline is disappeared and it is not displaying to us. Awesome. We are having our search icon, we are having our nav menus for our sign in, for our orders, for our your prime, and we are having our basket icon displaying the basket products that is added in our basket. Awesome, that's great. So let's check whether it's looking responsive in mobile devices or not. So if I just make it smaller in left hand side and see whether it's responsive or not. Boom guys, as you can see, the header is totally responsive and is amazing. That's great. If you're watching the live stream till now, that means you are having the energy to create this Amazon clone together with me. And if you create it, just post the link in my GitHub channel. Great. I will check it and I will review it in my next live stream. Awesome. So we have successfully styled our header part. Now what we're going to do is we are going to work with our beautiful login page and our registration page. Are you excited? Yes guys, I am really excited. So let's do it. Alright, so let's start by creating our login and registration form page. So now what I'm going to do over here is that our part with our header.js is completed successfully. Now we're just gonna touch this header.js file when we will be working with the login and registration functionality to display the user's name over here in our navbar. So now I can just close this header.js and the header.css file. Now we are just going to work with this app.js file to define our login page route. So now let's come back to our app.js file over here and create a new route for it. So the default, that means the main route when the users come to your website, you need to define it at the end of your routes. So let me just create a route for defining my login page route over here. So route is going to be having a path of /login. And after that I will like to display the element that is going to be having the React fragments in it. And in this React fragments I would like to display only the login component, not the header, because the login page is only gonna contain the login form, not the header. It's just gonna be simple if you have used any e-commerce websites, and if you have seen the Amazon's registration page, we are not having the headers displayed over there. We'll just be having the login or a registration form. Great. So now it's displaying us an error that is saying the login is not defined. So now what I need is, let me just import my login component first, and after that I will create it. So let me just import it over here. Import login from. A folder that I'm going to create is going to be screens, because this is going to be a login page. So I'll just keep it differently in a screens folder. So let me import it and save it. Okay, so now let me open my sidebar, and inside my source folder I'm going to create a new folder that is going to be for our screens. In this screens folder I'm going to create a new file for our login.js. And for keeping my login.js file, CSS files, I'm going to create a new folder named as CSS. In this I will be having all CSS files related to our screens. So let me create a new file for my login.css. Great. And now I can just close my sidebar, so it will be really easy for you all guys to see the code that I will be writing in larger font size. Awesome. So in my login.js file, so now how can I just go to the login page? So for going to the login page, I have defined a path over here that is /login in my app.js file routes. So if I just come to my browser screen over here and add /login, it will take me to the login.js file and display a blank page. So for an example, in my login.js file, if I write a basic React component over here and display a simple div of login text, it should display me a login over here. And as you can see, it is being displayed. That means we are going in a good track. And till now, if you're not getting any errors, that means you're going good with me, and then just watch the whole tutorial and you will be a React developer. After that, let me even import my login.css file, so it will be really good to do it from scratch. After that, I would like to import link also from React Router DOM. I will just say you why we are just importing this React link in all of our pages, like in our header and login. You will get to know it in little time. So I will import it from React Router DOM. Great. After that, we are having this function of login. What I'm going to do is, I'm just going to provide this div a class name of login to create my login page. And in this div, I will be having an image that will be displaying the Amazon logo to us. So I'm just going to provide a class name to it that is going to be the login_logo. And the source is going to be the same that I have provided in my header.js file. So I will just switch to my header.js file over here, and this was the URL that I have pasted. So I'm just gonna copy it from here, close this JS file and paste it over here in my login.js image tag, and provide it a alt text that will display simple logo text. Great. And now as you can see, the Amazon logo is imported in our login.js file. After that, I would like to have a login container to display the informations related to our sign-in form. So let me create a separate div for it that is going to be having a class name of login_container. Awesome. In this login container, the first thing that I would like to display is going to be the heading of our form, that is going to be inside the h1 tag, sign in. After that, we are going to be having the labels for our input and the input, of course, for our labels. So the label is going to be inside the h5 tag, and the first one is going to be for our email and the second one will be for our password. I'm just gonna keep simple input with the type of text. So let me create my second input, but before creating the input, I'll provide it a label that is going to be for our password. And after that, we're going to be having an input, but now its type is going to be password, because we need to just keep the password secure from the viewers. For an example, our password input, the user is entering the password. If you have seen in most of the professional websites, you're not gonna see the password, it will just display as a dot, and that only we need to do in our Amazon's login form. So after this input, we would be having a button for sign in and a button for registration. So let me create a button over here which is going to be having a type of submit. So why I'm just adding this type of submit over here? For an example, if the user have created his account and enters the detail, the user no need to scroll his mouse and just click on the sign in button. The user can directly press enter after filling all of the information in the sign in form, and the form will be submitted directly. So that's why we provide this type submit to our button. After that, I'm just gonna add a class name to it, so it will be really easy for styling it in our CSS part. So the class is going to be login underscore sign in button. And the text that I would like to display is going to be simple as sign in. Okay, after this sign in button, I would like to display some information related to the privacy and policy for our Amazon clone. So I'm having a paragraph over here. I'm just going to copy that paragraph and paste it inside this paragraph tag. Boom, great. Let me just align it. Great. And after that paragraph, we're going to be having one more button that will be for registering the user. I mean to say, we're not going to create a separate page or separate form for registration. We are just going to keep it simple. That means the user can enter the email and password for creating his account, and for signing into the specific account that the user have created, the user need to enter the email and password. It's totally same. So let me just create this button and provide it a class name. That is going to be the login underscore register button. And the text that I would like to display for this register button is going to be create your Amazon account. So great. When you just do that, or create your Amazon account button is being also displayed over here. So without wasting the time, let's start styling our login form. So now we have just created a structure of it. Think it as a simple HTML template. Now let's work with our CSS part. So over here, first of all, I'm just going to select my login class. Alright, and I'm just going to provide it a height of 100 VH. What does this VH means? VH means vertical height. After that, I'm just going to provide a background color to this beautiful login form that is going to be white. And I will say to display it as flex, and flex direction is going to be column. By default, it is going to be row, so we are just going to change it to column. And align the items in center. After that, I would like to style my logo. So login underscore logo. I'm just gonna add a margin from top that is going to be 20 pixel. After that, even I'm just gonna add a margin from bottom that is also going to be 20 pixels, same. So we're just gonna get the same margin from bottom and top. After that, as I said we are going to be using the object fit as content, not to define the height but the width, that is going to be 100 pixel. Am I correct? Yes. So let's even add margin from right, that is going to be auto, and margin from left also auto. Awesome. Now let me style my login container. So login underscore container, which is going to be having a width of 300 pixel and the height is going to be fit hyphen content. And after that I will say whatever item is there inside this login container, display it as flex, and the flex direction is going to be column, because what I need is whatever items are there inside this container to display it in a column. If I will use row, it will just display like this in a straight line, but I need to display it in a column, like means from top to bottom. So that's why I'm changing the flex direction to column. After that I'm just gonna add a border radius to it, that is going to be 5 pixel, and the border is going to be 1 pixel solid light gray. Awesome. And the padding I'm going to provide it, that is going to be 20 pixel. Awesome, that looks really cool and amazing. So don't worry about it why our Amazon logos text is not displaying now. I will just change the text color to black, or change the background color for our logins page, maybe like type of a wheat or a type of smoke. So don't worry about it at all. After styling our login container, I would like to style our heading. So login underscore container. In this container I'm having my h1 tag displayed as a sign in heading. I'm just gonna select it and style it and provide it a font weight of 500 and margin from bottom of 20 pixel. After that I'm gonna select my login container. Inside that container I'm having a form, and inside that I'm having a h5 tag that is displaying the label of our input. I'm just gonna provide just a margin of bottom to it, so it will look separate from our input and the label. We'll be having some space between the label and the input, and that will make our website look really clean and easy to use. So the margin from bottom is going to be only 5 pixel. So now let me select my login container and style my input. And the input styling is going to have height of 30 pixel and margin I'm just gonna provide it to a bottom, that is going to be 10 pixel, and the background color is going to be white. After that I will just provide it a width of 98%. Rather than 100%, I'm just gonna give it 98%, so it will be minus by 2. After that I would like to style my paragraph. So inside my login container I'm having a paragraph tag. I would like to just provide a margin from top, that is going to be 15 pixel, and font size I'm just gonna change it to 12 pixel. Now let's start by styling our sign in button and our registration button. So I'm just gonna select my login container over here, or I can just directly select my login underscore sign in button because it is outside of my container, and I'm just going to change its background color to hashtag FOC14P. That's the official background color for Amazon. And after that I would like to change the border radius to 2 pixel, and the width is going to be the 100%, and the height is going to be not the aspect ratio, it's going to be 30 pixel. We are just gonna define it manually. And the border I'm just gonna change it to 1 pixel solid, and I'm just gonna add some margin from top to my button, that is going to be about 10 pixel, and add a border color to it. So we are going to be having 3 hex values that I'm having over here, so I'm just gonna copy and paste it over here directly, so it will be really easy, and that looks really cool. So now let's start styling our register button. Am I correct? Yes. So for styling our register button, we are just gonna select it by the class name, like login underscore register button, and I'm just gonna add a border radius to this register button, that is going to be about 2 pixel, and the width is going to be 100%. After that, I'm just gonna provide it a height of 30 pixel manually other than using the aspect ratio. And I'm just going to be having a border of 1 pixel solid because we are just going to define the border color manually. And I'm just going to add a margin from top, so we're going to get space between the paragraph and our Amazon registration button. That is going to be same as our login button of 10 pixel. And the border color is only going to be light gray. When we just do that, as you can see over here, our Amazon clone looks really good and amazing. How do you feel about it? It's really great and amazing. It's awesome. Am I correct? Yes. So now over here, we are in our login.js file. I'm defining my image over here inside this login div. So guys, I will be coming back in just a minute. Alright guys, I'm back. So my microphone was closed, but I was just speaking out over there, but now I've just on my microphone. Can you listen me? If you can, just comment down below. Great. So let's see what's the error that I'm getting over here. So we can't see this Amazon logo. I need to see this Amazon logo, but I can't. So let me see what's the error that I'm getting over here. So for fixing this error, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to come to my login.css, and the background color where I have defined it white, I'm just going to change the background color to wait for a second. Okay, so that looks great. So let me change the background color to white smoke and select it and make it darker. Alright. Okay, so now we can see our Amazon logo clearly. We can? Yeah, we can. So now I'm just gonna change the background color for my login container to white. Okay, let's see. Alright guys, that looks really good. So what do you think? Should I change my sign-in's container background color to the wheat color, or I'll keep it same? Like my background color will be wheat and my login container's background color is going to be white. I think so this looks really great. If you're having any suggestions, just comment down below. Okay, so guys, this is looking really good and amazing. I'm just gonna keep it same. So now guys, we have successfully designed our login and registration page. So I will review it again. So let me even style my email input. I think so I have not yet styled it. We have styled it over here. Yeah, I had. So our input is styled over here, but let me add some padding to it. So let me add padding inside this input of 20 pixel to make some sense, and change the outline to none when the user selects the input. Let me check whether it works. Alright guys, so let me see what is the error that is being occurred over here. In my login container, I'm having a form. Alright guys, I just got an error because I have not created a form tag over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just gonna select the whole code, cut it, and after my h1 tag I'm just gonna be having a form tag. In between this form tag I'll be having all of my code defined. After that, let me just rewind the whole code back again, otherwise I'll get a big fat issue. Okay, let's see. Okay, so now guys, the sign in form looks really great, but let me change the background color to a bit darker. Okay, changing its background color to darker and changing my login container's background color back to white. Awesome. So that looks really great. We are having our beautiful sign in and registration form. The user can enter his email address and password, click on sign in to sign in with the created account, and if the user have not yet created his account, the user can click on this beautiful create your Amazon account button and create his account. That's great. So if I just come back to my home page, we can see that we have styled our header and we have styled our login page. That means we are all set to go. So let's add basic functionalities like linking through one page to this another page. So for an example, when the user clicks on this sign in button over here, I would like to sorry guys, I would like to redirect the user to the login page. So for doing that, I would like to open my header.js file. So let me open my header.js file, and now I'll explain you why I have imported this link from React Router DOM. So when we are defining our routes, we will be using the routers, we will be using the routes, and we will be defining our route. But in our pages, like our header component or in our login page, if when the user clicks on a button or a specific text, and if I like to redirect the user to the path that I have created, that means the route that I have created, for that I will be using the link. So over here, when the user clicks on this header option, I would like to redirect the user to the login page. So I will just use the link that I have imported over here and to over here, and the path name that I have defined, that it was /login. It's totally that simple. And then I'm just gonna close this link tag after my header options div ends, and then you're just gonna see a magic. Let me save it, and now let's see over here the magic, the power of the React Router DOM. So now, as you can see, when I just hover on this text, it's changing the mouse cursor to pointer. That means it accepts the link. Great. So when I just click on this sign in button over here, it should change my URL to /login. Just see it over here and we will see our login form. 1, 2, 3. Boom, as you can see, it's changed its URL to /login, and we can see our login page over here. So this is why we are importing the beautiful link from React Router DOM. So now what we need is, when we are in our login page and the user clicks on this Amazon logo, redirect the user back to the home page. So for doing that, let's come to our login.js file, and I'm just gonna maximize my VS Code editor, and from now onwards I'm just gonna keep my VS Code editor maximized, and when there's a change in the browser I would like to display it manually. So it will be really easy for you all guys to see the code and learn it more nicely. Am I correct? Yes. Am I correct? Yes. Just comment down below, guys. Just comment down below, or just comment in live chat. Otherwise you can just comment me personally in my Discord account. Great. So now in my login.js file, when the user clicks on this image, redirect the user back to the home page. So let me see whether I have imported the link. So as you can see, I have imported the link from React Router DOM. So let me just define it over here. To, and what was the URL? That means the path that I have provided to my home page. That was /. So I'm just gonna keep it same as / to redirect the user back to the home page, and close my link tag after my image tag. So now let's see the magic, whether it works fine or not. Boom, we are having our sign in page over here. I'm also gonna maximize it so you will see it more nicely and amazingly. Great. So now when I just hover over here to this Amazon logo, you should see the cursor should change to the pointer, as you can see. Now when I just click on this Amazon logo, it should redirect me to home page. So let's see whether it works or not. Cross fingers. 1, 2 and 3. As you can see, when I just click over here on my Amazon logo, it is redirecting me back to the home page. Let's test it one more time. Come to the sign in page and come back to the home page. That means it is working fine and we are going in a good track. Awesome. Great. So now what's left? So things that is left in part 1 live stream is that we are going to be adding the login and the registration functionality with the help of Firebase. Am I correct? Yes. If I am, just comment down below. Alright guys, and the second thing that is going to be there is going to be, we will be designing our product page. That means in our home page we would like to display some basic products that is having the highest rating in our store. Like in our Amazon's website, the highest rating product will be displayed at the first of our home page. Am I correct? Yes. So now we are just going to be adding our login and registration functionality, fetch the user's email and display it in our header over here, and we're just going to change this guest text to the Gmail the user has created account with, and the sign in text to sign out. And after that, when the user clicks back on it, we are just going to sign out the user from the account and redirect the user back to the home page, but we will change the user's email and the sign out text to sign in and hello guest as the guest account. And after that, we will be having our products displayed over here with the image, with the product title, product description, product ratings and product price. But the most important thing is going to be the product rating part. It's going to be really awesome and it will be the best part in our e-commerce, that means our Amazon clone. Yes guys, so let's start working with login and registration with Firebase. Let me just switch back to my live screen, so you will be able to see my browser screen and even my beautiful face cam. Great. So if till now you haven't subscribed to my channel, just go scroll down of the video and click on the red beautiful loving subscribe button. Great. Alright guys, so now we can see over here that we have created our header, so we need to add the sign in and registration functionality with Firebase. So first of all, let me just come to my sign in page, and this page doesn't looks that good and it doesn't looks the copy of the Amazon clone's registration page. So I need to change something. So what I need is I need to change the background color and the logo of Amazon, because when I just kept the background color of this sign in page to white, our Amazon's logo text will not be appeared. That means it will not be displayed to us because the text and the background color will be white, so it will not be displayed to us. So I got a new Amazon logo URL over here that is having the Amazon in a black color that we will be using in this sign in page. So let me just open my VS Code editor over here. Great. And the first thing is that I will be coming to my login.css file and I will change the background color to white. Simple. And everything is great. Let me save it and let me come back to my project, and that looks really good. Now what I need is I need to change the Amazon logo over here. So for doing that, I will be coming to my login.js file and I'm just gonna remove this URL from here and paste a new Amazon clones URL over here that is having a text color as black that I will be using. So here's the URL. Now let me save it and let me open my project. Boom guys, as you can see now we are having our beautiful sign in page with the beautiful Amazon logo with black text color, and that looks really good. So let's start working with the sign in and registration with Firebase. So for using the Firebase, just come to the official firebase.com website. The link will be provided in the description below. Create your account, and after you have created your account, you need to just click on these three dots which you can see over here. Just click on it, and after that there's an alert. Just click on dismiss, click on it back. Create your Google developer profile, personalize your experience, earn badges and share your success. No problem, just click on start and see what it's asking for. Simple. I'm just gonna click on next, finish. Great. Maybe the first time you create your account, they will ask for these profile settings and some dashboard settings for your Firebase website account. So I'm just gonna keep everything same over here. I'm not gonna change anything and come back, reload my website over here, back again, click on these three dots, and now we got our page. So great. And after that you need to just click on this go to console after you have created your account successfully. Just click on this go to console. You're in your console and I'm having already two projects created over here. Just ignore them and create a new project by clicking on this add button. And this time I'm going to name my project as Amazon clone tutorial video. How is it? That's great. And now just click on this continue to create your project. Scroll down, enable this Google Analytics for this project should be enabled by default. If it is not, just enable it. And then click on this continue button. After that, it is saying to configure the Google Analytics. Choose or create a Google Analytics account that we have already created. As I said, you just click on next, and your account will be created. After that, you need to select your account, and this is the default account for Firebase. If you need to create a new account, you can just click over here. So I will be selecting the default account for Firebase because it's for a tutorial purpose. And after that, just click on this create project. It's gonna create your Amazon clone tutorial video project. So let it create. It's just gonna take some time, maybe about 1 minute. That's it. It totally depends on your internet connection. Great, it's finishing up. So as you can see, the Amazon clone tutorial video project is ready. So now we can just go and use it. So just click on this continue button over here, and after that it will redirect you to the your created project. As you can see, this was the project named that I have created. After that, what you need is you can just select for different platforms you wanted to use your Firebase. So if you're using React Native as an app development, you can go with iOS and Android. But we are using it for React.js, so we need to go with web-based application. So just click on this web icon over here. After you have done that, you need to have this my web app. You need to provide a nickname for your app, and I'm just gonna keep it as Amazon clone and simple ways. And after that, just uncheck this also setup Firebase hosting for this app, because we're not gonna do that now. So just uncheck it out and click on register app. After that, you're just gonna get this Firebase SDK. We can just use it now, but we're not gonna use it now. We're just gonna set up our Firebase account, and afterwards we'll start using it. So what you need is, you need to just click on this continue to console, and that's it. After that, you will just receive the email updates about the new Firebase features with the registered email that you have used for creating your Firebase account. Now what we need over here is that we need to come to this build, and after that you need to select this authentication tab. Okay, after you come and select the authentication tab, you're just going to be getting different ways to sign in or register a user. If you need to register a user with Google, Facebook, Twitter, GitHub, or with the phone number, if you need to learn how to use the Firebase authentication with social medias, please comment down below. I will create a separate video of it. Great, but now we are just focusing on simple registration. So just click on this get started button over here. After you just click on the get started button over here, there are different sign-in methods you are gonna get, either email password or any other password you would like to choose. But now we are just gonna go with simple email and password. So just select this button over here. After that, you need to enable it. So just click on this enable button and click on save. That will enable your sign in method, and you will be ready to use your registration and sign in feature in your app. And now when you just come to this user tab, you can see that it's enabled. Now you will see your registered users details over here with their identifier, providers, ID, sign in, and user ID. Great. So now let's start by installing our Firebase in our React project. So for doing that, what you need is, you need to just come to the overview of your project. Click on this settings over here. After that, you need to click on this project settings. And in the general tab, you need to just scroll down. You can see your app's nickname, your app ID, and your SDK setup configuration. So here's the npm command, and here's the configuration command. So the first thing that we need to do over here is that we need to install Firebase in our React app. So for that, we need to run this command, that is npm install Firebase. So let me minimize it over here. I'm running my server in a terminal. So for installing any packages, now I will be using the built-in Visual Studio Code terminal. So just click on this terminal and click on new terminal to open a terminal in your VS Code editor, and after that you need to run this command for installing Firebase. That is npm install Firebase. Let me even check it back again. Okay, so that's correct, and just press enter to install Firebase in your React project. It's just gonna take some time, totally depends on your internet connection, as I've said many times, because it's installing a package in your project. Great, so let it install. So till the time it's installing, let's come back to our Firebase website over here. After you have run this command in your terminal and installed Firebase in your project, the second thing that you need to do is connect your Firebase with your React app. So for doing that, you need to come to this configuration checkbox over here. After that, you need to use this code. You need to copy it and paste it in your beautiful React project. Awesome. So let's see whether our Firebase is installed or not. So it's still installing, so let it install. Alright guys, that's really great and awesome. It's really amazing. Alright guys, so now our Firebase is installed in our React project. So let's connect it with our React app. So for doing that, I'm just gonna open a sidebar over here and collapse all of these files, and inside my source folder, in my root source folder directory, I'm going to create a new file named as firebase.js that is gonna contain all of the code to connect to my Firebase account. So just create that file, and I'm just gonna close the sidebar so it will be really easy for you all guys to see. And even I'm just gonna kill this terminal over here. So let's come back over here, and after going to the configuration tab, you need to just click on this beautiful icon over here to copy the code. And after it's copied, you need to just paste it in your firebase.js file. And after you have pasted, you're all set to go. But we need to add some of these import statements in this file. So just follow together. So one is going to be our initialize app. So import initialize app, that will be imported from firebase/app. After that, we are going to import the get auth from the Firebase auth package. So after importing these two files from the Firebase, we need to just create a variable after our Firebase configuration variable. Just create a variable named as an app that equals to, we are just going to be using the initialize app method over here, and in this we are just going to pass our Firebase configuration variable that is helping us to connect to our Firebase account. So after that, we are just going to be having an export statement with a variable of an authentication that equals to, we are going to be using the get auth method over here, and in that we are just going to pass this app variable. So what is happening over here, if you have not understand it, I will explain you once again. So the first thing is that after you have installed the Firebase in your React project, you need to just copy this configuration code and create a new file in your source directory named as firebase.js. So it will really match to the content. So that's really a good naming convention to keep it as firebase.js, and paste that over here. After that, you need to import this initialize app and the get auth from Firebase. After that, what we're doing over here is that we are creating an app variable. We are initializing our app, that means our Firebase app in our React project. So we are just passing in this initialize app our Firebase configuration objects variable name, and then we need to just export it. So for doing that, we are having this variable that is being export by default, in which we are using the get auth method, and in that method we are passing our app variable that is initializing our Firebase configuration code. It's really that simple. Great. So now we have successfully connected our Firebase with our React project. Awesome. So now let's start working with our login and registration functionality. So now I am in my login.js file. So the first thing is that what we need to do over here is that when the user enters the email address and the password in the input, we need to just store it in a variable. So for doing that, we will be using the use state hook. So let me just import the use state hook from React. After that, I need to create two state values over here. One is going to be for our email address, and the second one is going to be for our password. So let me just create it over here. Const square brackets email set email that equals to a use state, and it is going to be set up as an empty strings. And second state variable is going to be for our password input. So let me just create it over here. That equals to a use state, and it is also going to be set up as an empty string. After you have done that, how we will just get the user's input? So for doing that, we are going to be having, and we'll just go to your input. So for an example, here's my email address input. After the type, you need to set its value to the state variable of an email, and then we are going to be using the on change. On change, we are just gonna call an event, And after calling that event, we are just going to set our email variable, that means state variable, to the target value. So event dot target value. The same thing we are going to do with our password input to get the user's input. So here we are having our password input, which is having a type of password, and its value is going to be the password. That means our state variable name. And on change, that means if the user writes any text in the input, we are just going to change it. On change, we are just going to get pass an event and then set our password to the event's target value that the user has entered in our password input. It's totally simple. Is it? Yeah. So now let's start working with the first thing is going to be the registration functionality, because the user is going to create his account, and after that the user is going to sign in with the created account. So before that, let's check our React project whether it's working fine without any errors or not. So let me come over here and open my React app, and as you can see, we are not getting any error. That means we are all set to go. So for registration, I'm just going to come to this register button and I'm going to say on click. When the user clicks on this button, I'm just going to call a function that is going to be named as register. So now let me just create the registration component over here. So before my return, I'm just going to create my register component. We will be using the async and await over here. So async, we're just going to pass an event to it and call our component. So what is happening when the user clicks on this register button, we are calling this register function, and that is being called before the return statement over here. And in that we are going to be using the async and await, and we are taking the e, that means we are taking an event of passed to this registration button from the register button. Great. And in this we are just going to prevent it as default. That means when the user clicks on the register button, we would not like to reload our web page. So that will be really a good impression on the users that is creating the account in our Amazon clone website. After that, we are going to be using the try and catch. In the catch, we are just going to pass an error to it, and we are just going to alert that error message over here. If there's an error occurred while registering the user, we are just going to alert it. Great. I will explain you once more, don't worry about it at all. And in this try, what we're going to do is we are going to create a new variable named as user that equals to, we will be using the await over here as we have using the async await, so we can use the await in this variable. So before that, we are just going to be having some import statements. So let me just come over here and import create user with email and password. That will be imported from Firebase /out folder. Great. Now we can just create the user. So in this variable we are using the await, and after that we are just going to create user with email and password. And what it's going to take, the first thing is going to be authentication, the second thing is going to be the user's email and password. Awesome. Great. And after that we are just going to console.log the specific user, so it will be really easy to see whether the user has created his account successfully or not. So let me just console.log over here the user variable. Great. So now let's see whether the method works. But before checking the method works or not, I will explain you what is happening in this register method. So in this register method, we passed an argument of an e, that means an event. When the register button is called, an event occurs. So when that event occurs, I'm saying it to prevent it as default, so the page will not reload even for a single second. And after that we are using this try and catch. In catch we are passing in parameter of an error. If there is an error while registering the user, I'm just going to display that alert message. And in try, I'm creating a new variable with the help of the async await, and I'm saying this create user with email and password method that is being imported over here from Firebase authentication folder. and in that I'm just passing the authentication. When passing the email address, that means our state variable for email and password over here, the user will be created with. And then we're just gonna console.log this variable, that is user, so we'll get to know whether the user have successfully created his account or not, because if there is an error it will be alerted that we can see. So for consoling we can see whether the user have created his account or not. So let's test it out whether it works fine or not. So now I'm just gonna open my React project over here, and we are getting an error over here that is saying the auth is not defined. So we need to just import the auth from our firebase.js file that is over here, that we are exporting by default. So let me just import it over here in my login.js file. So just have an import statement of an authentication that will be imported from the firebase.js file. Simple. Now let me just switch back to my project, and now boom, the error is disappeared. So now let me just refresh it once again, right click and inspect it, so we can see whether the user account is created or not. Just come to this console tab. Awesome. So there's no issue yet. So let me even open my Firebase authentication users page over here. So we will see the users details the user have registered with. So let me just enter the email address. For a simple example, I will be using testing@gmail.com, and the password I'm gonna keep, that is going to be testing. No, for an example I'll be keeping testing 123456 as the strong password. And now when I just click on this create your Amazon account, it should run my register function and create an account for me. 1 2 3, just cross fingers. 1 2 3, boom. When I just click on the button, it is saying me that the Firebase error authentication email already in use. How is that error occurred over here? It is saying me that the email address is already in use. Okay, so let me just go with another email address. But we are just getting that alert, but it is even showing me the user's credentials the user have registered with, as you can see over here. But let me come over here and refresh my Firebase, and we can see our registered details over here. So there's some error in our code. So for checking that, I will be coming back to my VS Code editor, and let's see what's that error message being displayed to us. In catch, I'm saying the alert the error dot message, the error that we're gonna get. So we're using the async with an event, and it is being prevented by default. So what is the error that is being occurred over here is totally confusing. So for checking that, what I'm going to do over here is that I will be coming to my Firebase official website and select this registered email and delete this account, and click on delete back again. After the account is deleted, I'm also gonna close my React app and run it back again. So let me press Ctrl+C in my terminal, terminate it, yes, and run the npm start command back again to run my React project once more. Alright guys, so our app is running back over here. Let me just come to my sign in page and let me just register our account again. That means let me just create my account back again. I'm just gonna provide an email address, something different and unique over here, and I'm just gonna name it as a type of hacker coder @gmail.com. It's totally something unique. And the password I will like to keep, that is going to be hacker coder 786. Let me just click on this create your Amazon account and let's see what happens. 1 2 3, it's not displaying us any error. Let me inspect, open my console, and we can see the user's credentials over here with the user's details. Great. So now when I just come to my Firebase authentication tab, reload it once again, we should see the user's registration email and user's password will not be displayed over here. Great. So that means our registration functionality is working fine. So now let's work with the login functionality. So what I would like to do over here is that we need to add functionality to this sign in button. Great. So now let me open my Visual Studio Code editor and import sign in with the email and password. So sign in with email and password, that will be also imported from Firebase out. Great. And now we'll just create a new function for it. But before that, when the user clicks on this button, on click, am I right? Yes, on click, I'm just gonna call a function. I will name it as sign in a simple words. Great. And now let me just call this method before my registration. So over here, and now in this method also I will be using the async and await, which is also going to take a parameter as an event in it. Great. And in this sign in also we are just going to prevent it as default. So our event will be prevented as default for removing the reload functionality. After that we are going to be using the try and catch over here. Catch is going to take a parameter as an error that we're going to get, and I'm just going to alert that error's message. Simple. And in this try, I'm just going to create a user variable that equals to, I'll be using now sign in with email and password method over here, same as we have done with create user with email and password, which is going to take authentication, email and password from the input. And after that I will console.log the specific variable of user in simple way. And after that what I'm going to do over here is that if the user's login is successfully done, we will redirect the user to the home page. That means our Amazon's main page. So for doing that we are going to be using the navigation over here. So in our React Router DOM package, we are having one more package named as use navigate. Just import it from the React Router DOM and use it before our state variables defined. Just create a variable named as navigate to use it in an easier way, and in this variable I will call my use navigate function. Awesome. And now let me just come over here in my sign in function, and after the user's account is created, after the user accounts is user details is consoled in our console, I will redirect the user. So if my authentication, that means if the user is registered or if the user account is logged in, I will navigate the user back to the home page. So now we have imported the use navigate. So why we are using the navigate method over here, you will be totally confused. But I will explain you once again what is happening. Everything is totally simple. But now we are using the sign in with email and password for signing in the user with the created account. And then we are just gonna navigate the user back to the home page if the user have successfully logged in. So for that I am importing the use navigate method from React Router DOM. And to use it in an easier way, I'm storing that method in a navigate variable. And now wherever I would like to use this use navigate method, I can directly call my variable, that is navigate. So I'm saying over here, that is, if my authentication is true, calling my navigate variable and passing my home page URL over here. So let's see whether it works fine or not. So for doing that, I will come to my React project. Great, and I'm just going to refresh once again. And now let me enter my registration details. That was hackercoder@gmail.com. And now let me even enter my password. That was same hackercoder786. Now let's cross our fingers and let's see whether this functionality works or not. 1, 2, 3. Boom guys, it is working fine, and it console.log us the promise, and it is fulfilled with the user's credentials that was implemented while creating our account, and that is awesome. If you need to see the user's registration details, you need to come to your console and click on this user key over here, and after that you're gonna see all the details the user have registered with. Awesome. While you will create your account, as you can see over here, while you're signing, also you're just gonna see the details, like the email is being displayed over here as hackercoder@gmail.com, but the password will not be displayed because of a security reason. Great, so that is awesome. So now our login and the registration functionality is working. Let's test it once again. So when I just come to my sign in page, and if I like to create an account, now I'm going to create my account as programmer. But before creating my account, I'm going to refresh my page so my console will be cleared. And now let me just create a new account as programmer@gmail.com, and the password I'm just going to keep it as simple programmer. And now when I just click on this create your Amazon account, it's going to create my Amazon account with these users credentials that was implemented in the input. So when I just open over here and open this users key, we can see the email over here, that is programmer@gmail.com, the Gmail that the user have created his account with. If I come to my Firebase users dashboard and reload it, we should see the new registered Gmail, as you can see over here, with the signed in date and the user's UID. So now let's try to sign in. Let's click on the sign in button. 1, 2 and 3, and we should be redirected to our home page. Let's do it. Boom guys, it's just asking us to change the password because it is not secure, so I'm just going to click on OK in a simple ways and just click on never. I would not like to save my password. So as you can see, it have redirected us back to the beautiful home page. So now our signing and registration functionality is successfully finished. Now the thing that we need to do over here is that to make our header looks amazing, we need to fetch the user's detail. That means email address to be displayed over here in my header. So for doing that, we are going to deal with the header.js file. So just open your VS Code editor over here, and in your VS Code editor you need to open your header.js file, and over here we need to import the authentication from Firebase. So let me import it over here. Import the authentication from your Firebase file. It's that simple. And now we will be using the onAuth state changed method over here also. I will explain you in just a second. So let's just import it over here. onAuth state changed. That will be imported from Firebase auth folder. Great. Now you are all set to go. Now what we're going to do over here is that inside our header function, I'm going to be using the use state hook. So let me just import it from React. Great. And now let me just create my first state variable named as user. set user that equals to a use state, which is going to be an empty object. Great. And after that we are going to be having on auth state changed method over here. So on auth state changed method that we have imported from Firebase auth, remembered? And in that we are just going to pass our authentication, comma, we are going to be having a component, that means a fat arrow function that is going to take an argument as current user. And in this we are just going to set our user variable to the current user details that we are going to get from the authentication. After that we are going to be having the handle authentication method over here. So don't worry about it now. If you're not understanding what is happening, let me code it, you also code with me together, and afterwards I will explain you in detail. So let me create a variable over here that is going to handle the authentication, that equals to, I will be using the async await over here. So let me just use the async over here, and I'm just gonna say if my user is true, auth.sign out. I will explain you in just a second what is happening over here. Don't worry about it at all. And the sign out will be imported from our Firebase auth folder. So that is being over here. Let me just import it. Great. And after that what we need to do over here is that we need to just scroll down again, and now where I would like to display my user's email address, it is over here. Great. So I'm just gonna say hello other than this guest. I'm just gonna remove this guest. I'm going to be having a beautiful curly braces. If my user is not true, that means if there's no user, if it is true, I would like to display guest as a text, and if it is false, I would like to display the user's email address in a simple words. Same thing we are going to do with this sign in and sign out. If my user is true, I would like to display the sign out text. If it is false, I will display sign in text in simple words. And now let's have the functionality for logout. That means when the user clicks over here back to this page, I would like to redirect the user back to the login page. Great. Am I right? Yes. So for doing that, we are going to be using the link where I'm saying when the user clicks over here to this header option, redirect the user to the login page. But now what I'm going to do over here is that if the user's account is created, I will keep the user here only, but if it's not, I will redirect the user to the login page. So let me just remove this 2 from here and use the beautiful curly braces and say if there's no user, redirect the user to the login page URL. That is really great and awesome. So now we're just gonna see whether this functionality is working fine or not. But before doing that, we are gonna be calling this handle authentication function. That means if the user's account is created and the user clicks on this header option, I'm just gonna add this on click and call my handle authentication over here. That means handle authentication function. So now let me just explain you what I have done over here, and then we're just gonna check whether this functionality is working fine or not. Great. So the first thing that is going to be our import statements. So we are importing our authentication from Firebase. Then we are importing this on auth state changed and sign out from Firebase authentication. Great. So what is this on auth state changed? This is a method to check whether the user account is registered or not. Great. So we are creating a use state variable over here for setting our user and get it to display it in our header component. So, and in the second one, we are using the on auth state changed method in which we are using our authentication to get the details from our Firebase dashboard, and we are calling a method over here which is taking a parameter as the current user to set it to our user state variable, and then we are setting our user to this state variable, that means this parameter that is our current user. Great. And now when we scroll down over here, now I'm saying hello, If my user is false, that means if the user is not created his account, display as guest. If the user is true, I'm using this chaining operator over here to don't get any kind of an errors over here, and using this dot, that means the connection or concatenate operator inside this user variable, just get the user's email detail and display it over here. And in the second span tag, I'm saying if my user is true, that means if the user account is registered, just display the sign out text. If it isn't, just display sign in simple words. And what is happening over here? That means when we are in our header, and if you're trying to, for an example, let me just come to a project and let me just click on sign out for a simple example. And now when I'm over here and I'm just clicking over here, it will redirect me to the sign in page. But my account is created and the user clicks over there, we will just call a method and that will just log me out. So if there's no user, if it is true, redirect the user to the login page. If the user is rare, just call this function, that is handle authentication. And in this function, what we are saying over here, if my user is created, just select my authentication that is coming from our Firebase, and we are using this sign out method to sign out from the user's login account. So let's test out this functionality whether it works fine or not. So I'm just over here in my project, let me refresh it once again, and now let me just click on sign in. Now when I just click on this sign in, it is redirecting me to the sign in page. Now let me enter my created accounts detail, that was programmer@gmail.com, and the password was simple programmer. Now when I just click on sign in, it should redirect me back to the home page. Great. And now what is happening over here, it is fetching my detail and displaying over here as hello my Gmail address, and even displaying the sign out text other than displaying sign in, because I am logged in with my account. Now when I just click on it back, it will not redirect me to the sign in page. Other than that, it will just sign out me from my account that I am logged in with. So let's try to do it. When I just click on the sign out, 1 2 3, cross your fingers and just click on it. Boom, as you can see, it's not redirecting me back to the login page. Other than that, it is just logging me out from my account I've logged with. That is really amazing. So that is the power of React, and that is why I love using React. So it is really amazing, and it is in simple way how to add the authentication, how to register the user, how to sign in the user with Firebase. It was really simple. If you understood it nicely, just comment down below, and if you don't, just join my Discord channel. The link will be provided in the description below. For an example, join my channel over here. Let me just dismiss this section out over here, click on got it, and sorry guys, it's maximized. Okay, so just click on my Discord channel, the link will be provided in the description below. Come over here, come to this programming errors channel and write your error message that you're getting over here. I will try my best to reply you as soon as possible, in maybe in same day, but in 5 to 10 minutes gonna take at least, because my Discord account will be opened and I will reply you as fast as possible. Great. Awesome guys. So now we are done with our login and registration functionality. We are done with our displaying the user's data in our header functionality. Now the thing that is left in our first live stream, Amazon clone part 1, is that we would like to display the user's product that will be fetched from a JSON file. Okay, so let's start working with it. Alright guys, so for doing that we are going to come to our home.js file. But before that, let me just close all of these files over here that is opened, open my sidebar and collapse all of these files. Great. Let me open my project, and now what I need is, I need to display the products over here with the image of the product, title, rating, price and the add to basket button. So for doing that, we're just gonna deal with home.js file. So come to your source directory, open your screens, and now this was our screens for our login page. Now let's create a screen for our home.js in a simple words. Great. And now let's create a CSS file for our home.css that's gonna be handling the styling for our home.javascript file. And now where we are rendering our components, for an example, just come to your app.js file. So let's open our app.js file, which is over here, and in my home page I'm rendering only the header. And now what I need is, after my header, I would like to even render my home component that is gonna display our products. So now let me also import it. So import home from my screens folder. I'm having the home.js file. Just import it over here. Now it should not display us any errors. Let me just close this app.js file for now, and there should not be any error displayed over here, and it's displaying us a blank page. So let me just write a simple React component over here. Let me just come back, and boom, it's working fine. Great. So now I'll explain you the the walkthrough what is gonna happen in this home.js file. So for an example, I'm rendering this home.js file in my /, that means my main page URL, after my header. And in this file is gonna contain our product. And for product, I'm gonna create a different component file which is going to contain the stylings for my product. Great. So without wasting the time, let's start working with our home.js file. Once we start working with it, it will be really easy for you all guys to understand what is happening. Great. So the second thing I would like to import in this is going to be my CSS file. So inside my CSS folder, I'm having the home.css file. Great. And everything is great now. Now let's come to our home function. Now in this home function, I'm just going to delete this div and create a new div from scratch. Will be a good practice. Let me create a div which is going to be having a class name as home. In this div, we are going to be having another div which is going to be having a class name of home_container. Great. And in this home container, we are going to be having an image that is going to display the banner for our main page. That is going to be having a class name of home_image. In this image, sorry, it's not going to be closing the image tag, it will be just closed with the / and the greater than symbol. After that, we're going to be having a source of the image that is going to be a URL, and the alt text that is going to be the banner image. Great. So I'm having the URL over here in my notepad. I'm just going to copy that and paste it over here in this source. Great. We are all set to go. Now let me just save it, and let me just come and open my React project, and boom guys, as you can see over here, we are having our beautiful banner being displayed over here. But we are going to be adding some of these stylings to this banner image. So let's come to our home.css file, and we are just gonna select the first thing is going to be our main home class name. So .home. In this, I'm just gonna say it to display it as flex, justify content in center. I'm just gonna add some margins from left, that is going to be auto, and from margin from right is also going to be auto. Remember it guys. And after that, I'm just gonna add a max width to it, that is going to be 1500 pixel. And now let me select my home_row. That means my, oh no, sorry guys, my apologize, not select the home_row, it is home_image. So let me select this class for styling my banner image, which is going to be having a width of 100%, which is going to be having a z index of -1, and we are just going to add some margin from bottom that is going to be 150 pixel. For adding some blur at the bottom of our image, we are going to be using the mask hyphen image styling over here with the linear gradient method from to bottom over here. And now we need to define the colors. We are going to be having the RGBA colors 0, 0, 0, 1. Great, that's amazing. And the second color is going to be totally 0, so comma RGBA 0, 0, 0, 0. Great, all is set. Let me save it, and let me just come to my React project over here, and boom guys, as you can see over here, our banner image is being displayed with the mask image with a linear gradient from bottom, and that looks really amazing and beautiful. Just comment down below whether it looks like a real Amazon website or not. If it then just comment down below. Great, I just repeated it 2 times, just my apologize, just ignore it. Okay, so guys, don't worry about it at all. So now let me minimize my browser screen and let me come back to my home.js file. So here's this container, that means I'm just displaying my image over here. After displaying my image, I would like to display my products. So for displaying my product, I will be having a div which is going to be having a class name of home_row. Great, these are going to be different divs. This home row class name are going to be so many divs over here to display our products. So this is my first row in which I would like to display only 3 products. So I'm just going to call my product component over here in simple words, alright, and this is not going to be defined over here, so it's going to cause us a big fat error. So before explaining this file, let me just come to home.css and style it. So before my home image, I will be having my home_row class selected. I will say to display it as flex, and the z index is going to be 1, and we are just going to add margin from left, that is going to be 5 pixel, and margin from right is also going to be 5 pixel. Awesome, that's it for styling our home.js file. The source code will be provided in my GitHub repository in this live stream, and it will be updated in every single live streams, so you can just download it and keep it in separate folders, so it will be really easy for you all guys to start from where. Great, so what is happening over here? In the simple words, I'm displaying a banner image, and we are having a div, that means which is having a class name of home row. In this home row, we are going to display only 3 products, so I'm just going to call this component 3 times. And in a second row, if I would like to display 2 products, I will call this home row div back again, and in that I will call this product component 2 times. So now we are going to get a big fat error because our product component is not yet created. So let me create it. So before creating it, what I'm going to do over here is that I'm just going to import it. Import the product component from my components folder. We are having this product.js file that is not yet created, but we will be creating it as soon as possible. Let me just come to my project. We can see that there's an error, that means the product is not defined. So let me just create it inside my components folder. Just create a new file named as product.js, and in this CSS file create a new file named as product.css. Awesome. So come to your product.js. Now here we are going to be writing the code for our products. So just write the RFCE to import the basic React component over here, and I'm just going to remove this div for a second and import my product.css over here. Great. And after that, inside this product function, it is going to take some of these arguments in it. So I'm going to be having an object because it's going to take not a single argument, it's going to take many parameters. So we'll be using an object. It's going to take an ID, it's going to take a title of the product, name of the product, price of the product and the rating of the product. Great. So now in this return we'll be writing the code how we would like to display our products. So we are going to be having a div which is going to be having a class name of product, and in this div we are going to be having another div which is also going to be having a class name of product underscore info for the product information. The first thing is that we would like to display the title, so I'm just going to be using the curly braces and call my passed parameters inside my function, and the values will be passed from my home.js file. So I'll explain you what is going to happen. It is going to be really simple. After that we are going to be having this beautiful small tag which is going to be having the dollar symbol in it, and after this small tag we are going to be having a strong tag to display the price. Awesome. And after we have displayed our price, I would like to display the rating. So after my strong tag I'm going to create another div which is going to be having a class name of product underscore rating. Great. In this div we would be having a paragraph which is going to be having a star icon. So you can just get it from Google, and if you can't I will just paste it in the description below. You can just copy it from there and it's going to be really great. And after my this div ends, I would like to be having my product's image displayed over here. So image, that is going to be having a source of an image, and the alt text is going to be the product image. And then we are going to be having a button that is going to be for adding to basket. Simple. Now if I just come to my main project over here, it is saying me that the image is not defined because we are not passing the values from our home.js file. So for an example, I'm just going to remove these two components from here. I will just explain you what is going to happen. Now I'm just going to pass the details that is being over here, like ID, title, name, price and rating from my home.js file in this product component when I'm calling it. So ID is going to be 1, because just concentrate over here and watch it carefully, because I'm not gonna assemble products in a slow motion. That means what I'm going to do over here is that I'm having it in my notepad. After explaining you how it is going to work, I'm going to display all the products and paste it over here. Great. ID is going to be 1. I'm going to pass a title over here. That is going to be Sony PlayStation 5 console. So let me just copy the text from here and paste it over here, so it will not use our extra time. Okay, so let me just remove one double quotes from here, and after that we're going to be having the price of our PlayStation 5, that is $169.99. Then we are going to be having the image of our product. So we are having the URL over here, so I'm just going to copy it and paste it other than searching it from Google. Let me just directly paste it. And the last thing is that we're going to be having our rating. So now the rating is being assembled as simple a number. Great. And now if I just come to my project, I should see the details, but it is saying me over here that the image is not defined. Let me just refresh it once again to see whether it is working or not. Still it is saying that the image is not defined. So let me come to my product.js file over here. Alright, so I have not defined the image over here. So let me just define it over here. Other than this name, we are just going to be having an image. It was my apologize. Great, let me just come to my project, and boom guys, as you can see over here, we are getting our title, price and our rating being displayed over here. Awesome. So what is happening, I will explain you. In this product.js, I mean to say in my home.js file, I'm calling my product component to display my products and passing it some of the values. That values we're gonna get in this product.js inside my product function as an object. And that we are creating a div over here, and to that div, like for the paragraph, price, I'm just passing this argument as the value in the curly braces that will be assembled to it. Am I correct? Yes guys. And now we're just gonna add some styling to it in our product.css file. But before doing that, we are going to be working with our rating part. So for an example, I have registered over here to display 5 rating for this product, but it is only displaying me one single star. as you can see over here, because I have already assembled one single star in my product.js. So how I will just make it display with the product details that is entered in my home.js file. So for doing that, I'm just gonna remove this paragraph, and in this I'm going to be using the array method, and in this array method I'm just gonna pass rating as a value. Great. And I'm just gonna fill it dot fill it and just map through it and return this specific paragraph. Great. I will explain you what is happening. Don't worry about it at all if you're not understanding it. And passing it to our parameters, that is going to be underscore and I. It's just for a good purpose, for making your code look really clean. And if you don't need, you can just also keep it as an empty, but I'm just gonna pass these arguments. Great. So now if I just save it and if I come to my project over here, as you can see, we are displaying the 5 stars as the stars that value is entered in my home.js file. So for an example, if I come back to my VS Code editor in my home.js file and change this returns value to 2, it should just display me only 2 stars. For an example, let me just come to my project. As you can see, it is only displaying me 2 stars. That means our array method is working fine. So let me just change the value back to 5 because PlayStation 5 is my favorite. Come to product.js file over here and I will explain you what is happening. How we are filling and mapping through the ratings and displaying the stars. So here I'm using the curly braces to write my JavaScript code, and in that we are using the array method. In that array method, I'm passing my rating, that means my parameter over here, the value of it. I'm just gonna using fill method to fill it with map through this paragraph. Just get the rating value, and the rating value, if it is 5, just display this paragraph 5 times. Great, that means it is working fine. I hope so that you got it what is happening over here. If you got it, then you're going in a good track. Now let's come to our product.css file for adding some stylings over here. So the first thing is going to be our product class. Display flex direction is going to be column. Then we're going to align our items in center, and we're just going to justify the content also as a flex end. We are going to add from margin from all of the sides, top, bottom, right and left, that is going to be 10 pixel, and padding also from all of the sides, that is going to be 20 pixels. The width is going to be 100%, and the maximum height is going to be 400 vertical height, and the minimum width is going to be 100 pixel, and the background color I'm going to define, that is going to be white. Z index will be 1. Now let me select my product rating class, which is going to be displayed as flex. So our stars will be displayed in a row other than in a column. And now let me select my product image, which is going to be having a maximum height, that is going to be 200 pixel, and the width is going to be 100%. And then we're going to be having the object fit, that is going to be contained, as I have said it is like an aspect ratio to match it with your width value. If you change your width, your height will also be changed. And now let me add a margin bottom, that is going to be 15 pixel. Now let me style my products add to basket button. And which is going to be having a background color, that is going to be hashtag FOC14B. It's the official Amazon's button color, which is going to be having a border of 1 pixel solid. And the padding is going to be from all of the sides of 7 pixel with a border radius of 5 pixel. Let me add a margin from top so it will separate from the image. Then that is going to be 10 pixel. And the border color I'm going to define in 3 hex values. I'm just going to copy that from a notepad and paste it over here. And add a color that is going to be hashtag 111, that is going to be the black color. Now let me style my product price. So product underscore price. That is going to be having a margin from top that is going to be about 5 pixel. And now let me style my product information container, which is going to be having a height of 100 pixel, and we are going to be adding some margin from bottom that is going to be about 15 pixel, not 5 pixel, it's 15. Great. So let me open my Amazon clone, and as you can see, that looks really cool and amazing. So let me just come back to my VS Code editor and start displaying our products. So inside my home.js file, in my first row div, I would like to display 3 products. So I'm having the code over here. I'm just gonna copy that and paste it so it will be really good rather than wasting time writing every single product details. Let me just paste it over here and just align it. Alright, that looks great. Now when I just do save it and come to my React app and home, guys, as you can see over here, it is displaying me 3 products with its title, where there's price, ratings, image, and our add to basket buttons. That looks really cool. Now we're going to create a div for our second row. So let's create a div which is going to be having a class name of home row, same as we have done with our first row. And in this home row, I will define as many products I would like to display. So in this div, I would like to display 2 products. So let me just copy and paste it over here with their ID and details. Let me just align it in left because my prettier extension is not working in my VS Code editor. I really don't know why it isn't working. Now if I just see over here, there are 2 items being displayed over here in this second row. Awesome. Now let me just come and display my last product. Let me open my VS Code editor, and I'm just going to create a div which is going to be having a class name of home row, and in this row I would like to only display 1 single product. Let me just align it. Great. Now if I just come to my React app and scroll down, the largest 49-inch LED gaming monitor that I'm having, and even I'm using over here as my main screen, and that looks really great. It's amazing. Awesome, guys. So now what we are going to work with over here, we're getting some errors maybe occurred over here. That means let's try to change the background color of our main page to look different from our products. As you can see over here, our product's background color is white and it is matching to our background color. So for doing a change in it, we are just going to check what we need to do. So what you need to do over here is that just open your VS Code editor, open your sidebar, come to the index.css file, and you need to define the background color over here in your body. So the background color I'm going to define, that is going to be RGB 237. That's the official background color for Amazon. It's 234, 237 and 237. Alright guys, let's test it out how it looks now. Let me just refresh my web page. Boom guys, that looks really good. Now if you see over here, our product is having a background color of white and our main body is having a background color of light gray, and that looks totally different from our product and our website. That means our Amazon clone looks amazing and it is totally responsive. If you would like to see, I would like to right click, inspect it out over here, and let me just drag it to the mobile devices. As you can see guys, it's totally responsive, and that is the awesome thing over here. Awesome guys, let me just close my inspector. Great. So that that's it for our first Amazon clone part 1 live stream, in which what we have learned, I will explain you. We have learned how to create components, how to create different screens, components, methods and functions for an example, and we are having this beautiful header. We have learned how to create a header, how to register a user, how to sign in a user, how to get the user's detail from our Firebase authentication and display it in our header component, and we have learned how to display our ratings, as you can see, with the help of the array method, and it was really amazing. So just comment down below how is this Amazon clone looking with this beautiful product images like gaming laptop, and this is the Funko Pop from the Nate Hill Fortnite skin, and that's really great. How do I know? Because even I play Fortnite. Great. Okay, great. That's great. So it's totally responsive. And just comment down below how is this design looks. It looks really amazing for me. It's totally responsive and amazing. So if you understood the video, let me just switch back to my intermission screen. Great. If you understood the video, how it's working, how to create Amazon clone till now, we have done together. If you got it, if you liked the video, please do not forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and hit the notification bell. Yes guys, because the next live stream is going to be soon by this week, and in that we're just going to be adding some more functionalities with the search list. Great. And I will see you in the next video. Till then, peace, bye bye, take care.